so today I'm here to wrap up my reading for the month of December, and I can't believe this is the last month of the year. Like, this is my last wrap up of 2019, and that is so crazy to me, and there is a lot of wrap up videos I need to film, but I wanted to talk about my reading for the month of December. And I read a total of 7 books this month, and 2 of them were audiobooks. So I got back into listening to audiobooks because in November I didn't listen to any because it just got like really hard to get to them because of traveling and internet problems and stuff going on. But I got back into audiobooks and I read 7 books, and I had a pretty good reading month. I pretty much enjoyed everything I read, and I'm excited to wrap up my reading. So the first book I read this month was Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson and Laura Miracle. This is one of the books I read in the Tis the Season-a-thon, and I uploaded my vlog like a few weeks ago about my reading experience with the readathon. I think I did pretty well, but I'm so glad that I finally read this book because I watched the Netflix movie while I was in Hong Kong, because there was a day where we just stayed at the house and didn't really do anything, so we just ended up watching movies. I really did enjoy this book, but I kept thinking of the movie the whole time, and like even though the book was still enjoyable, the way the stories are entwined and it interacts is a little bit different. And I did find with the book that the first story was the best, but it started to get worse as I kept reading. Like, I didn't like the characters in the last story, and the second story was okay, but the characters were still kind of annoying. But I am glad I finally read this book because I've had it for the longest time, and it's just one of those ones that I'm like, I can't believe I haven't read this yet. So it's like pat on the back for me for getting something read. Okay, the first audiobook I listened to was Our Stop by Lauren Jane Williams. So another adult contemporary, but this one just sounded so intriguing to me, and having the idea that you put an ad into the newspaper to try and find someone on a train. It's called Misconnections, and this book was great, but also the most annoying thing I've ever read. The near misses with these characters nearly meeting and like nothing happening until the end of the book. Like, I get it that it's the idea of misconnections, of nearly seeing each other, and is it fated or is it not, and how many times they nearly met and then it didn't happen, and like the way their lives go, and you're just like, oh my god, it's like, it's a great romance, but these things just did not happen. And I did love the 2 main characters as individuals, and I loved the like dual narrators, and seeing them as just like these great people, but them getting together was just the hardest thing I've ever read. And I enjoyed this, and I do recommend people giving it a go, but honestly they don't meet until right near the end, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. But still, it was such a ride when it finally happened. But still, it's one of those ones where I'm like, it's enjoyable and I get the intrigue, but I'm also like, why didn't this happen sooner? And then the next book I read was My True Love, that's edited by Stephanie Perkins, and I really don't want to say all the author names, but this is an anthology of Christmas stories, and this is another book I've had for the longest time that I'm so glad I finally read. And I read it around Christmas time, which I'm also like, yay, I'm actually in the season, in the mood to read this. But I did enjoy these stories. There was only 3 that I gave 5 stars to that I just absolutely loved, and some of them were a bit weird and some of them were okay. But honestly, short story collections can be really hard to get into because you have to get used to these new characters and then watch them fall in love within 20 pages. Like, it can be hard, but the Christmas vibes that I got from this book was really fun, and I did really enjoy it. I just had fun with this, and my overall rating for it was 4 stars, which I think is pretty good for the short story collection. And then guys, I read Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. So I reread Daughter of Smoke and Bone last month, and I did really enjoy that experience, even though the story was a bit less for me because I already knew what was going on, but it was good to have the refresher. But this book, man, I could not even, like, everything is so devastating and hard. I didn't like feeling like shit basically the whole time I read this, but this is what the book's about. Like, stuff has gone to shit, and I can't even explain to you because it's so hard to even describe this book. And I'm even worried to read the 3rd book, but I do hope to read it in the next couple of months because I don't want to be that slack again. But I'm so glad that I finally got the courage to get back into this series, and there's so many different point of views. That's something that Laini Taylor does too. She just introduces point of views left, right and center that you're like, who even are these characters, and then it links up and then you're like, oh my god, it's happening. And there's so much more that needs to happen, and so many times that I'm in this book like, oh my god, I can't chill. I need someone to make me chill because I'm freaking out because stuff is just real. But I'm just so glad that I finally got to this book. And then I read Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I think that's how you say her name. I cannot say this author's last name. This is just such a hard thing for me. But I picked this up for the Magical Readathon, and I wasn't going to read this book until next year, but it worked perfectly for the challenge. And I just really wanted to pick up one of the books that I was really excited for that I only recently bought, and I did it, and oh my god, I love this book so much. I love Lou and Reed's relationship so much, and the idea of a witch and a witch hunter getting married is just like something I never knew I needed, and I would love more books like this, even though this book was amazing. amazing. And I am beyond keen for the sequel to come out because I need to know what's gonna happen. Literally in the last 100 pages of this book, shit got real and so intense, and I'm just in this state of, oh, I need the next book. But I loved the banter, the wittiness, the fighting, the intrigue. Like, there was a lot going on, but I really enjoyed this book and I just need more. This was seriously a month of getting into books that I've had for the longest time that I really should have read, but I didn't. But guys, I finally read Evermore by Sarah Holland, and oh my god, I was so disappointed. This book took me 10 days to read and I only gave it 3 stars, and I was so pumped for the sequel for so long because Everless was one of my favorite books, yet this was so bad. I found it so slow and boring, and the characters didn't feel the same, and I didn't understand why the story was going in the direction that it did, and just nothing was making me excited. Even when the relationship that I wanted to happen happened, I didn't even feel anything. I'm just like, yeah. So I don't know if this is because I waited so long to read it that my love for the book just lessened or what. Like, I really don't know, or maybe I wasn't in the right head frame to read this, but I am just so sad that this book just wasn't what I wanted it to be. And it just makes me sad when sequels aren't as good as the first book, because like I feel like they should bring the story and make it even better, but when they make it worse, it just makes me really sad. And then the last book I read of the year was Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, and oh my god, like, I enjoyed this book, but it also made me angry. I gave it 4 stars because it did really have an amazing storyline, and I love the idea of it being a Project Runway meets Milan, and like the main character is Maya and she wants to be the imperial tailor, but girls can't be the tailor, so she goes instead of her father and goes into this competition. But also with the competition there is 3 dresses of magic that you need to make. So there's one with the laughter of the sun, one with the tears of the moon, and one with blood of the stars, and she has to make like all these dresses, and it's like got this like really fun magic system going on. Like, it was really fun, but the main character was shitting me because she has this special pair of scissors that she can use to make dresses, and Eden is the main male character and he is the master enchanter and he does magic for the king, and he knows that she's a girl and he wants to help her, but every time he's like, you know, use the scissors, it's gonna help you. She's like, I ain't gonna use the scissors, I ain't gonna do no magic. And so many times it caused so much grief because she wouldn't use the scissors. So the whole time we're listening to the audiobook, I'm just like, use the scissors, like do the thing with the scissors, like they are going to help you, but you have not used them. Like, it was making me so mad, where I was just like, oh my god, girl. And by the end of the book too, like some of the decisions that she was making, I'm just like, you're dumb, please don't do this. But Eden was my favorite. He was just a precious little bean, and he loves Maya so much, and he's so dorky about it that I just love him. And I am excited for the next book though. I need to know where the story is going to go because it left in a point where I was like, eh. I am so glad that I did finally decide to listen to this, and a lot of people did enjoy this book. It's just Maya shitted me. So these are all the physical books I read this month, but there are still 2 more in this wrap up, and I'm pretty happy with how I went because I read 3 books last month, so I really wanted to read a lot more in December, and I did that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I read. Evermore is probably the most disappointing book that I read this month, and it just makes me sad. And guys, I did so well. I read 7 books this month and I didn't buy a single book because I really didn't want to buy anything for the end of the year, and I know probably 2020 is going to be a year of me buying a lot of books because I just don't care anymore and I just want to get excited about new releases again. So I'm going to start buying books again. I'll try and definitely only buy new books though, so that it's like the book I'm buying I will read straight away is my ultimate plan. And I think a lot of them are going to be available as audiobooks, so I'm going to be able to listen to them at the same time, which is really good. But I am just so proud of this. Like, for the end of the year I really stayed strong. And to talk about GVR Money for the last time, because it was only a 2019 challenge, I am not bringing it back in 2020, but to tell you how I concluded it, Let It Snow was a book set around Christmas for $5. Our Stop was a book from multiple POVs, another $5. My True Love Gave to Me was a book set around Christmas again because I just wanted to use that challenge again just to sneak in another $5. Days of Blood and Starlight was a book from multiple POVs for $5. I didn't realize I doubled up so much this month. Serpent and Dove was a book with an animal on the cover in the title because there's a serpent and a dove on that title. Evermore was a book with orange on the cover for $2, and Spin the Dawn was a book with an animal on the cover because I'm pretty sure there's a hawk on the cover there. And by the end of the year my total was $34 that I will probably spend soon enough, so I should just do a payment of like some books for that much money, and then the rest of it is just free spending. But anyway guys, thanks for watching my last wrap up of 2019. I can't believe we are bringing in 2020. It is just scary but also exciting because I just want to know what the new year's going to bring and see if anything's going to change in my life and just get excited about it. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!